to that, and feel free to call in, and we'll just have prayer together. So I'm just listening and taking in, baby, and sending prayers and light to you as you are sharing your story. I'm grateful that you're able to do this, and I'm grateful for this platform, my dear brother. Thank you for listening to your spirit yesterday and reaching out to me. So I'll be quiet and let somebody else, I'll be here, chime in. Thank you, sir.
Okay, what's the number, my sister?
She's gonna get it.
Okay,
she's gonna get it to me, and I'll send it to you.
Okay, good.
I'll text it. Yes, I'll text it to him, and he can share it with you.
All right.
Hello.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Az. I appreciate that. So again, you guys are listening to Sister Tawanda West. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're listening to Sister Tawanda West, and I'm your host, King Ya. And Tawanda West is sharing her story about her brother that was brutally murdered by Baltimore Police Department. We're going to go to the phone lines. We have other callers on the line, so I'm just going to open up another phone line and see if our caller has something to say. Give me one moment, and we'll be right to the next caller. Area code 618, your phone line is open. Do you have a question or comment? Tell us your name, where you're calling from. Area code 618, your phone line is open. Questions or comments, or you want to remain silent? That's fine. You can do that too. Okay. All right. So sometimes our callers just want to listen. If you have a question or comment, please press the number 1. Press the number 1 button on your phone. Let us know that you have a question or comment, and then we'll cue you in. Sister Tawanda, you and your family have suffered a great deal.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to you and your family as always.
Thank you.
And, I love your tenacity. I love your drive, your resilience. And, my support is always with you and your family for sure. What can you tell our family this evening about what you found out, what your family found out once Tyrone West's body was exhumed? What happened?
Yeah, so basically what we found out was what we knew all along, that my brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered. He died from positional asphyxiation, and that was the third time. So first our attorneys, they got their forensic doctor, Dr. Mannion. He was the first doctor that went over his tissue and whatnot, and he deemed my brother's case a homicide, and he said he died from positional asphyxiation. And like I was saying, that a reporter had called me personally and said that they're going to come out and tell you that your brother died from positional asphyxiation, but basically they changed it and they lied and said that my brother had a bad heart and he died from a heart attack and dehydration. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But the saddest part was we buried my brother in a black shirt. He had on black and gray when the last time I saw him, and when we got his body exhumed, he wasn't like an organ donor or anything. Long story short, his organs were out of his body. They allegedly sent them in a bag to, I'm not a forensic doctor, but why was all of his organs taken out of his body in a bag sent? So to me, my guess would be that they basically was frantic, because something that was only supposed to cost me no more than $20,000 basically went to $50,000, and they basically so many games. They didn't even want me to exhume my brother's body. They played so many games. They were trying to do the stall tactics of, oh, well, in order for you to exhume your brother's body, you would have to get permission from the state's attorney, and you would also have to post in the a newspaper stating where your brother's body is. I'm like, why would I want to post something privately that I'm doing that has nothing to do with my attorneys? So they played so many games, and then to kind of find out I didn't have to go to Marilyn Mosley, our state's attorney. I had to go to somebody in the county because my brother's body was, in the county jurisdiction. So what they were trying to do was stall me and buy time. And the crazy part that's real scary, as I was going through this process and praying, like I said, I'm a Christian woman, a praying woman, and when I prayed about it, God told me and I found this forensic doctor, bless his heart, Dr. Shaker. He basically was transparent, but he let us know that my brother was murdered. And then we found out, because I got my cousin to identify my brother's body, because through the process here in Baltimore, they would not let me see my brother's body before he was flown out to Texas for the autopsy, for them to do the second autopsy or whatever. But he was not, for them to do this, the autopsy or whatever. But nevertheless, I told the doctor, do not perform the autopsy until my cousin, and then I had to pay another hundreds of dollars to get my cousin on the same plane with my brother's body, and it was just crazy. I had to get him flown out too. I had to put him in a hotel. It was just crazy how I got extorted out of all this money. Then in addition to that, I had to get another $10,000 to challenge the fact for them to test the so-called bad heart, and come to find out his heart wasn't bad, which we knew. He was the healthiest man in my family. But the thing that was interesting, I want the audience to know, we buried him in black, but when he got to Alabama, he had on a yellow shirt. His suit jacket that he was buried in was no longer on him. And nobody can explain this to me. And then I didn't never tell you that the doctor here, the autopsy doctor here, Pamela Southall, who actually, when she was working on my brother's body, the police department, I believe some of the killers that murdered my brother was in the room with her while she did the autopsy. What kind of foolishness? You got officers in the room while you're doing the autopsy report that's supposed to be non-biased and whatnot. You got officers there, all these police officers, and literally when they killed and beat the life out of my brother, including the officer named David Lewis from Morgan, like I said, it was 11 to 15 officers stomping, kicking, pepper spraying, tasing, beat my brother worse than Rodney King. You get what I'm saying? And for them, and then for her never to, for Pamela Southall, the forensic doctor here in Maryland, to sit up there and lie to my family and didn't take any pictures. But I got news for Pamela Southall. She killed the wrong man but got the right family. I am my brother's keeper. Literally, when they hit my brother's body for 5 days, I was smart enough to call that funeral home, and I said, please, before my brother gets there, when you guys get that call stating that he's on the way, doing the transportation part, please give my family a call. We want to pray over my brother's body. We were deprived, so the funeral home was like, okay, we'll give you a call as soon as we hear something. And they literally called me, and they said, Miss Jones, they're going to have your brother's body here like around 2 o'clock this afternoon. We got there at least 11 o'clock, hours before. And literally when they got there at 2 o'clock, again, police officers were escorting my brother's dead body to the funeral home. And then literally I had to beg the funeral director because I didn't want to get her in any trouble. I said, please, can you allow me, before you put any embalming fluid or anything in my brother, let me just say a prayer, but let me see him. I heard he was beat to the point that we're going to need a closed casket. So she went back there and looked at him. She said, oh, my goodness, my sister. She said, I don't know your brother or anything. She said, but that guy back there looks good. His dreadlocks are long, and he doesn't look like, you know, what you're thinking. He actually looks good, and we don't have any, or we don't even have any, embalming fluid. We haven't even done anything on him yet. I said, okay, can I go back there and see him? And what I did was, I said, let me grab two of my biggest uncles out the car. I'm like, can y'all go in the room with me real quick? I told the rest of my family, I said, hold up. I said, we're going to all come and pray, but I need my two uncles. I picked the biggest two of my uncles because I had a plan. I went in there, and I was, like, mortified and it looked like they literally put a little smirk on my brother's face as if he was smiling. Who in the hell smile while you getting beat down by 11 or 15 officers? You gasped for, and for you to actually went up to believe that he died with a smirk on his face. So I literally almost passed off the scene. I was like, oh yeah, they got the best doctors to try to do work, and then to put a little smirk on his face, I was done with it. But the crazy, guess what's fun? I'm glad I did what I did. I told my strong uncles, pull this sheet back, because she was like, don't touch his body. We didn't even bleach it down. But I said, give me some gloves, ma'am. This is my brother. She was like, because we can get, I pulled those sheets back, and I took thousands of pictures of my brother. And when I say it looked like a train track, they cut gashes out my brother. Nobody can explain this. And good old Pamela Southall, when they gave us these little 7 flimsy-page autopsy report, no photographs of. I never heard of somebody doing an autopsy and you don't take one photo. And we already know about the X cut or whatever. But when I say he had cuts in his neck, cuts on the back of his legs, arms, like I got graphic pictures of what they did to my damn brother's body. So they got the right one. And there's more stuff that I have, and I always bring it to them on anniversary days and give them just a little bit more. Give them a little bit more. You don't give them all of everything. And God forbid if they do anything for me, everything I got is out of terror, and somebody else is going to bring it. So they're not, even though they actually got to my phone and they tried to stop us from doing the autopsy, because literally when I called the doctor in Texas to say my brother's body is finally coming, oh my goodness, he was like, I can't do it. And I'm like, what do you mean? I started crying. He was like, because you tried to get me fired this morning. I said, I tried to get you fired? Why would I try to get you fired? He was like, you called my boss. You wanted a team of doctors to fly down from Maryland. I don't operate like that. I said, that was not me. I had to pray and thank God that morning. Like I said, I always act off of God. I let God direct my path every day, every second. And literally, God told me to call him that morning and let him hear my grandmother, who is getting ready to have her 86th birthday coming up. But nevertheless, she was on the phone thanking him, like, you know, whatever you do, all we want is answers. We just want the truth. Please, they shouldn't have. This is my first grandbaby type of thing. So when he heard that message, that touched his heart. And I remember that forensic doctor saying, my sister, please pray for me. I'm scared now. So it's definitely real.
Yes, sister. Yes,
So the activism work came then with me. So when they wanted to interview me, I was bringing families like Anthony Anderson, who was killed by that same unit a whole year prior. I was bringing them to the interview Anthony Anderson's family first, because I need to stand my place in life. I know my place, because it didn't start in my brother, and unfortunately it doesn't stop. And they used to get mad. The news would get mad. They're like, well, you know, it's about your brother right now. No, that's why I'm bringing all these other brothers and sisters and stolen lives that you guys stole. You guys did. These are not isolated. So you're not going to have me just screaming, oh, this happened to Tyrone West, and then the end of the story, the light blown out. No, it don't work like that. And literally, it took the prosecutor 5 to 6 months to meet with my family. It took him 154 days to be exact to meet with my family and tell us a lie and tell us that he was not going to prosecute. His name was Greg Bernstein, racist white state's attorney here in Baltimore. We literally got him kicked out of office. We shut him down with West Ramsey. We literally lobbied around Marilyn Mosby. She's the reason why we are in office. She's in office now. And for her literally not to do nothing in my brother's case is beyond me. Because I'm not asking you to lie. I'm not asking you to steal. I'm not asking you to cheat. I'm asking you to bring accountability, because I know that there's no statutation limit on murder. You can go and get a killer 40, 50, 60 years later. You get what I'm saying? So why haven't none of these killer cops in the courtroom about my brother? It's beyond me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this fight's going to continue. And the crazy part, so that white racist state's attorney, he's going to look at my family and say, oh, well, this makes good for a civil case, but I'm not going to lock up none of the officers because they act within reason. I said, well, I told him I'd never forget. I looked at him, and my aunt, who I called Mom, ran out the room, and he actually had the nerve to tell me, why aren't you leaving? You see the rest of your family. And the crazy part, my family had to wait 154 days, and we were subject with a big family like the West family that have been fighting every week nonstop. They never seen shutting down town hall meetings. They never seen that type of strength come from no family. Just every week we out there protesting week after week. And
we coming to the top of the hour right now, sister. We're gonna take another quick break. How you feeling?
I'm good.
I know you struggling. You going through some things, and you fight that little virus out there in Baltimore. And we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go to the phone lines. We've got a few callers on the line, so we want to, area code 716 or 706, we're going to come to you after this quick break. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the King Ya podcast. As you may have guessed, I am your host, King Ya, a father, activist, and professional speaker. On this podcast, we discuss relationships, criminal justice, news and politics, Black history, culture, and domestic violence awareness. If this is your first time being here, I want to say thank you